Brooklyn gossip, a den of infamy broken up, young girls ruined. The city of churches has its black spots as well as the metropolis. One of these fever sores, an infamous den of prostitution, has recently been probed by the police and exudes the following particulars. For some months past, there have been complaints made of the occupants of the third floor of number 42 Main Street, Brooklyn. At last, it became unbearable, and Sergeant Caft and a posse of men determined to make a raid. Entering the filthy apartment at midnight, a most sickening sight was presented. Upon the floor were laid 3 beds with some dirty covering, which had evidently done a 3-year service and was enlisted for the war, and upon these, in a confused heap, the police discovered 5 women, 3 girls and 6 men, all undressed and more or less intoxicated. From this Laocoon of flesh were extracted Mary Ann Riley and Mary Ann McLaughlin, 2 courtesans of the lowest kind, Mary Jane Burke of Williamsburg, where she has a family living in respectability, and Priscilla Jenks, a red-headed notoriety well known throughout the Fifth Ward. Beside these, there were produced 2 girls of the most abandoned character, named Isabella Turk and Selina Russell. There were 2 others, one of whom had been ruined just previous to the entrance of the officers and was then weeping bitterly, and another crouching in a corner apprehensive that the lust of some of the brutes would soon compass her undoing. Their names are withheld for the reason that their connections are respectable, and as they were enticed to the place by the girls mentioned above, are rather to be pitied than blamed. The heroes of this dissolute den were half a dozen young men, 2 of whom escaped. The others are George McLaughlin, Daniel Toole, and Daniel Harkins. A person named Murphy was also there at the time of the arrest. When brought before the court, all were allowed to go free, as the charge was for disorderly conduct only, except Toole and McLaughlin, whom the woman Burke charged with rape. She stated that she came to the apartment to make a call when she was plied with drugged gin, and while in a state of unconsciousness, her person was outraged by both these parties. As she was unconscious, she makes her complaint on their statements, and cannot establish their guilt on her own testimony. All of the party were besotted and abandoned to the extremest degree, and when arrested, the room was redolent of recent excesses. The women appeared to possess a mania for supplying fancy men with new victims on whom to gratify their unholy desires. Their statements of the proceedings of the past few months are too disgusting for recital, and betray a depth of depravity not dreamed of by the thousands who daily passed through the frequented thoroughfare where they were congregated.